In the east end of Newburgh, one of the top 10 most dangerous cities to live in, there is an organization that sheds light and aspires hope for those who have to endure everyday life, most times without a home.
The ministry was founded 30 years ago, 1983, and it was founded by 5 sisters, women religious from different congregations. Dominican Sisters of Hope, Little Sisters of the Assumption, Sister of St. Agnes, and the Franciscan Sisters of Peace. And these 5 women Newburgh was in a worse condition then than it is now. And they just wanted to do something to help the poor. So they came, they rented a storefront on Broadway and plugged in the coffee pot, and they decided that they were not going to plan a program, but they were going to listen to the people, the needs of the people. And that's exactly what happened.
Kind of hear about the ministry, well, through my girlfriend, of an article that was in the paper. And came down and applied for a position, which is almost 4 years ago, and I'm still here.
About 30 years ago, it was a nun named Sister Margaret, and she was walking, and I asked her if they had Pampers, so ever since then I've been here.
I've been here all my life. I lived in the city of Newburgh all my life. I've been coming here since they opened, since I was younger, and it's been here ever since.
I came to drop off clothes, and they had just lost their coordinator that was working back in the thrift store, and they had interviews, and they hired somebody, and the gentleman didn't show up. So I had gotten a phone call that was I still interested in working at the ministry. I came down for an interview, and I was just blown away with all the things that the ministry is able to do for the people. And I got up from the interview and I said, I'm really glad to know you. It's great that you're here, and continue the good work. And about a week later I did get a phone call saying that I was hired and would I still like the position. Well, somebody will come in and they'll say, oh, I need a backpack. And you have a backpack, it just came in. Or somebody will say, oh, I need a size 9 men's boots. And you go, oh, I don't really think I have it, but let me check some of the donations, and there is a size 9, and they'll come in on a rainy day and they'll say, my feet are soaking wet, do you have something for me? And it's just there, so it's just God meeting that person's needs.
Well, it's very hard to say what my job actually is, because it depends on who comes through our door. I'm the social worker, so basically I help. It's called informal case management, and if people are having issues with their benefits or social services, I help them fill out applications, mostly whatever they need.
Here at the shelter, we get a lot of people that come in that are usually, either substance abuse or mental illness, or sometimes both. So what we try to do, and they come in without those services, and we try to refer them to services where they get the help that they need, whether it's in substance abuse, rehab, or whether it's mental health occupations.
Wayne is very, very instrumental in trying to find housing in the community for our folks, but I'm kind of like the disciplinarian, the person that's saying, okay, what are you doing now? It's coming on 30 days, or you're over 30 days, what are you going to do? And following up during the day. People don't realize, even though we're a program that technically operates from 8:30 at night to 9 in the morning, it's ongoing, because their needs are so diverse and so great that you really need to follow up during the daytime to make sure the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
The moment they come into the shelter, the shelter staff upstairs, they start working with them to prepare them to move on. Once the men realized they were safe and nobody was going to steal their shoes at night or go through their things, they were safe, then their defenses started to go down, and they befriended each other and helped each other. So the next step in the process was, the roof was still leaking, and we were putting pails next to people's heads as they slept to catch the water. And our director at that time decided that we should ask for a grant. And he submitted the grant to the Homeless and Housing Corporation in Albany, and we were awarded $1.8 million to fix over the whole building and create a 19-bed shelter upstairs.
2.5 years ago, we had a gentleman that came, and he didn't talk to anybody. Everywhere he went, he took his belongings. Finally, me and Sister Norma coordinated, and she got talking to him little by little, and we come to find out that he was a veteran. And he started talking, laughing, and he really thanked us for the help that we gave him. And he moved on, and he's really doing good even today.
Is when we're doing the child care and the beautiful little toddlers come in and open up their arms and run to you. It's the easiest, and it's the best, but also when you're able to see someone and help them and see that help work is great.
This is a wonderful place. You know, it's a place where homeless people can come and, you know, not just have a place to, for shelter, just to eat and sleep, but, you know, to pick themselves up, you know, and do better for themselves. And I'm very grateful, you know. If it wasn't for this place, I'd probably be in the street, you know, walking around, you know, not wondering what's going to bring tomorrow, what's going to bring the next day.
Helping other people actually helps me, because I see that my efforts don't go for naught, and you know, I'm able to use those skills and experiences that I have to try to help somebody deal with a challenge. We've had tragedy. People who were with us and had to move on and died tragically. And I think that really sends a message home that death is part of this picture if you don't take care of yourself.
Down here there's so many sad things that some days you walk out and your heart is so heavy, you know, for the people. I mean, just the way they live, and they always have a smile on their face. They're always so grateful for the little things you do for them. I mean, if you were to walk in any of their buildings, you're just overwhelmed in the circumstances that they're living in, and you can't believe how they can get away with what they get away with.
You know, our success stories aren't all that many, because sometimes it takes place in the future and we don't even know about it. But there was one gentleman who was here in our shelter, and he had just lost his job, and he wanted to work desperately, but he had very poor vision. He had thick cataracts that were blinding him. So we started off by taking him to an eye doctor, and the eye doctor said there are no glasses that I could give him that would work. He really needs to have these cataracts removed because he's going blind. So this man was a special man. Well, they were all special, but his characteristics, he would be ironing his jeans in the morning up in the shelter, you know, and you'd hear him singing down the hallway, whistling, and just life was stopped for him because he was becoming blind. And just through, well, he had deep faith, and just through that faith and exploring around, we were able to find a doctor who would operate on his eyes for free. And that was amazing. We brought him to the doctor, and one cataract was removed. And I was driving him back home from this doctor, and he was almost jumping out of the car, saying, "Oh, I never knew there were trees there, and look at the river. And, oh, it's so beautiful, it's so beautiful." I think that was a moment of great joy for him and for me to see that happen. And the second surgery, and now he's free, he's working at West Point, and a good friend. That was a miracle in every way.
David was Brown Jr., I'm a resident of Newburgh. I stay here at the Newburgh Ministry. At this point in my life, I'm in recovery and I'm homeless. With the grace of God, I have faith, I have spirituality. Sometimes I feel like there's weakness, but at times I ask my higher power, I choose to call God, Jesus Christ, to help me in the morning and thank Him at night. And I like to keep my recovery, and I'm just finding a place to call my own and have to say. I have a good sponsor, You know, he's terrific with me. He spends quality time with me. Sister Norman, everybody. They take time out. I don't get ready to cry, but that's okay. It's okay for men to cry. I'm just glad to be here, and I'm glad I'm not. I know it could be worse, you know, for my age and my mind and my troubles. I went September 13th to rehab, and I've been clean ever since, and I choose to keep it like that. I have desire not to use alcohol and drugs, even though the temptation is there. You know, it's all around me. But I like to stay, you know, keep my faith and my journey, staying clean and sober, and be able to help other people. You know, carry the message. And I choose to do that today. With the grace of God, here I am, and I just thank everybody for their support and their love for me. Like I said 6 months ago, I couldn't share what I'm sharing now. I was, you know, stuck on myself. I was stuck on stupid, you know, alcohol and, you know, knowing Sister Norma and the ministry, you know, they stayed by me from the beginning, you know. They could have turned their back on me, but, you know, even people here, you know, volunteers, you know, that's a grateful thing. A lot of people see them as different people, but I don't, you know, I appreciate them. You know, I talk to them, they talk to me.
They may be poor economically, but they're not poor in spirit. And that's very, very important in terms of the challenges that they face.
My kids, my grandkids, my brother, my sister, everybody come here.